And sometimes I think like, I'm just imagining this child that, again, like all these kids come up to my head of like, oh, I know
Totally.
this
Yeah.
kid,
Yeah. They're great examples.
who wouldn't stop climbing or moving ever. Like she just like nonstop climbing on all the stuff, everything that she knew she shouldn't climb on, all that jazz. And it would get so frustrating. And you actually came to my rescue and you were like, she's looking for input she's not getting. And in our mind, it was like, oh, she needs more things to climb on. But actually, when we started to give her more input where she could like go upside down,
Right.
or when she was like bouncing on roadie, and we did that at intervals throughout the day, she wasn't climbing as much.
Right.
And it was like, oh, right, like that her body like didn't know how to get the input she was looking for.
Right. Alyssa, this is why I love talking to you, because that's such a good example. So the things that we're talking about, like kids that are like, they're seeking sensory input on their own, they're moving around a lot. This applies in classrooms. It definitely applies at the house too. Yeah. If they're doing it all the time, it means what they're doing, they're attempting to get whatever they need for their body, whether it's to self-regulate or understand their body better. If they're doing it all the time, it means it's not working.
Right.
So then you have to ask yourself, which is what we did with your student, which is, how do I give opportunities that aren't just like everyday sensory inputs, like walking and running? And how do I bump up the intensity of what they're getting? So inversion and those kind of things, she needed more intensity of input. And then you're not seeing that constant seeking of input. So that's definitely a good thing to think about. If your child is constantly seeking, it probably means you need to think of increasing the intensity of what the actual input is that you're doing.